po kaagad si Mary.
It's 4 p.m. We're bringing you the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is STORYCon or STORYCon. I'm Lingao. Here are some stories we are watching this Thursday, March 21. For the first time, the Balikatan exercises between Philippine and American troops will be held outside the Philippines' territorial waters. The war games will take place beyond the 12 nautical miles territorial seas off the west coast of Palawan on April 22. Over 16,000 military personnel are expected to take part in the activity, including the French Navy. The House of Representatives has sent the resolution of both houses number 7 to the Senate. RBH 7 seeks to amend economic provisions in the 87 Constitution, including foreign ownership of public utilities, education, and advertising. The lower chamber also gave its final nod to the bill that will revoke the franchise of SMNI. And the Health Department is urging vaccination amid rising cases of measles and pertussis globally. Measles is a highly contagious disease caused by a virus, while pertussis or whooping cough is a contagious respiratory infection. And we now bring in Amy Pamintuan, the editor-in-chief of the Philippine Star. Amy, magandang hapon and happy weekend.
Happy Thursday. O nga, naunahan mo ako, sabihin ko sana sa'yo, happy weekend.
Kahit naman Lunes, babatiin ng happy weekend eh. Given naman yun eh. Bok, before I ask you the headlines, ipasok muna natin si Merrimon Reyes na nasa Pag-asa Island ngayon, sa Spratly Islands.
Okay.
And she's reporting to us live via phone. Merrimon, can you hear us? Merrimon?
Hi, yes, currently po ngayon, nandito tayo sa Pag-asa Island.
And merong joint maritime research assessment ng Pag-asa K. So ang kasama dito is the Department of Agriculture, BFAR, UP Biology, Department of Agriculture, and then currently ang stance ngayon is magkakaroon ng assessment and in-depth study and analysis nga sa sand case around Pag-asa Island. And unfortunately, sa ngayon, based sa observation natin, napuntahan kasi natin yung sand case 1, saka sand case 2, and medyo nakakahawa na yung sitwasyon ng coral reef doon na nasa Pampang. Medyo dry down na sila, plus yung mga buhangin na nandoon na lang. So, the report will come out kung ano yung situation ng sanctuary sa Pag-asa Island. Medyo matatagal pa yung magiging results nito based sa magiging assessment na. However, UP biology scientists are now underway with their supposed
Okay. Meron, naputol ka ta?
Nawala. Naputol.
Oh, mukha naputol. Unfortunately, kasi sa Pag-asa Island, medyo choppy o medyo on-off
Yes.
yung signal. Although meron silang satellite phone, pero I suppose hindi sila nakapag-set up kagad. But anyway, so there's a group of journalists now dun sa Pag-asa Island, including our Mojo and our one of our anchors, si Gretchen Ho, and a set of other reporters. I mean, nakapagpadala ba kayo?
Hindi, I'm not sure.
Oh.
Palagay ko wala.
It's interesting kasi yung mga visit ng media sa Pag-asa Island, medyo naging hindi naman regular, pero it's happened already quite often. But this time, they went to Sandy Cay. It's a sandbar mga 4 nautical miles to the south or southwest of Pag-asa Island. It's of course we're also claiming that, but it's medyo contested area kasi the Chinese have also been shooing us away. And what Merriman was saying kanina is that we've sent a scientific team there to assess the environmental situation on Sandy Cay Island.
Ano exactly yung ibig sabihin nun? Ano yung maritime assessment?
Actually, hindi rin ganun kalinaw kung ano yung ibig nila sabihin I think it's an environmental assessment. We have scientists from the I think the Maritime Institute or among other schools to look at the environment in Sandy Cay. But I suppose that's only part of the story kasi I think the bigger part of the story is that we're trying to place our footprint on Sandy Cay. Although we have already, politically named Sandy Cay. I think we named it, we named it a certain name in 2019 or 2020. Okay, yeah, we did. The name was given Pag-asa K2 doon sa Sandy Cay by the Kalayaan Municipality of Palawan. So we're trying to stake a firmer claim on Sandy Cay. And I think although they're not saying this, I mean, they haven't said, they're being very careful what not to say and what to say. Pero mukhang may mga political repercussions yung pag-assert natin ng ating rights over Sandy Cay. Bok, if you can see the map behind me, I'll just give you a quick briefer if you don't mind. Okay.
Medyo ano mo kaya?
Yeah, this is...
Papuntahin mo to your right. Hindi ikaw yung Ayan.
Itong Pag-asa Island. It's also called Tito Island. You can see that...
Develop na yung area.
Ang ganda na ng runway. Sementado na yung runway.
Strip.
Tapos dito,
strip siya.
this is Google Earth, so it's publicly available. I'm not disclosing any national security secrets. This is Google Earth. So, sementado na yung runway. Tapos itong pier, medyo develop na. So, nakakadaon na yung mas maraming barko.
Barangay na yan, hindi ba? May mga butante na dyan.
Oo, hindi kagaya dati na napahirapan yan. Now it's interesting kasi it's our most developed island in the area. Island in quotes,
Na Pag-asa Island Group.
If you zoom out, this is T2 Island Group,
yes.
or Pag-asa Island Group, you might say. We
T2,
basically lay claim to all of this.
Chinese
We basically lay claim to all of this. Ito yung Pag-asa Island yung nasa gitna. Now, Sandy Cay 2 is here. This one. It's mga 4 nautical miles away lang from Pag-asa Island. Now, it's important kasi the Chinese have also been patrolling in this area. But this as a rock generates its own territorial seas of 12 nautical miles. 4 lang yan eh. So 12 is malaki pa dyan. So in laying claim to this, we're also claiming territorial seas around that the Chinese should not be intruding into. I mean, if you follow that logic.
Saka umaabot dyan ang fishermen natin, hindi ba?
Oo. Ngayon, it's important din kasi na if the Chinese do seize this, kasi that's the fear baka kunin to ng Chinese, will be neck and neck with the Chinese, just 4 nautical miles away from our biggest island, if you would call it that. Also, what's also interesting is, if you look to the southwest, ito yung Pag-asa.
Mischief.
Ito, Subi Reef.
Subi Reef.
The Chinese artificial island of Subi Reef, also Zamora. It's only 9 nautical miles, 12 nautical miles away. 9 nautical miles away from Sandy Cay. So, because this is technically also a rock, and we're laying claim to this, it also generates its own 12 nautical mile limit. So, pasok yan dapat dito sa territorial sea ng Sandy Cay. I mean, ito. But they already built an island eh. It's important to us to lay claim to this, if only to lay claim to this. It's also important to the Chinese to lay claim to this kasi they cannot claim this eh. This is a reef, not a rock. Technically, this does not have any territorial seas. But this does. If they lay claim to this, then they can also lay claim to this. May ganung dynamics ba? Na medyo magulo, pero alam mo yun, kung sino yung mas kung kaninong kwento yung mas maangas.
Yung research, BFAR yan eh. Abot ba sila dun sa vicinity ng Subi Reef?
No. No.
Malayo-layo na.
Are you crazy?
Hindi kasi kung environmental research yan eh. Ang tinitingnan yan, siya sigurado yung Reef Network eh. The health of the coral reef network.
This is Subi Reef. This is see what the Chinese built here.
Oo nga eh.
It's really an
Puro
island
develop na nga sila.
Although not in a technical sense, but it's Merimon is back online. Merimon, can you hear us? Merimon, can you hear us? Yeah. Well, nagkakwento lang kami rito ng implications.
Sir, yes po.
Yeah. Sige, go ahead. Yung kwento mo kanina. Asa ka na kanina sa kwento mo? Ano yung pinag-aaralan nila? Ang tanong niya amin kanina, what are they studying talaga?
Yes. Okay. So earlier, nagkaroon lang ng press con kasama natin dito ang Department of Agriculture, BFAR, and UP Biology Sciences. And according na kay Commodore, meron tayong gagawin na assessment na, sabi nga ni Commodore Dariela, but the result of the assessment tungkol nga dito sa Sandy Cay, it will take quite some time to check kung ano yung probable reasons kung bakit ganito yung situation. So if ever na meron tayong tinitignan na claims related to the presence of Chinese military vessels or whatnot, hindi pa yan pwedeng sagutin as of this moment. It can only be answered once results from the assessment will be seen if meron bang parang humanitarian causes kaya ganito yung situation ngayon. So issues regarding land reclamation cannot be answered as of this moment kasi mahihirap naman daw magkaroon muna ng assumptions kaya pag-aaralan muna. But aside from that, titignan din yung structure nga ng Sandy Cay around nga ng Pag-asa Island. And we were able to spec sa Sandy Cay 1 and 2 kanina. Pero naghiwalay kasi kami ni President Hong. Pero ako napunta ako sa Sandy Cay 1 and very bare siya as of this moment. Kung nga lang may presence ng plastic bottles, may ilang mga basura. So, I think dapat isa pa rin sa mga kailangan to consider yung presence nga nitong mga to, ng waste.
Umabot dyan, ano yan? Mga Filipino waste ba yan?
Well, nakipag-usap tayo sa Coast Guard, pero sabi nila, a little bit of both ang possibility ng pumunta doon nga sa mga reef na to. Pwedeng Filipino, pwede raw mga naglibot daw na Chinese. Pero again, mahirap daw mag-assume, pero the presence of waste can be from the ocean or can be brought by man na tumungtong lang doon pero nag-iwan ng basura.
Umabot doon,
Merimon, tinatanong ko kanina ano exactly yung maritime assessment. Akala ko tinatanong yung environmental health ng area ng Sandy Cay. especially yung reef network para
Yes,
kung na-endanger yung mga fish, yung marine supply natin. Kasama din ba yun? BFAR yan eh.
Yes. Yes po, kasama po yan sa magiging assessment nila. Hindi lang naman yung status ng coral reef, pero yung marine life na nakikita nga sa paligid. Actually, yung isa sa result na pwede raw na mabilis makita, presence of marine life. Ano yung sitwasyon na to? May buhay pa ba under the water? Or meron na bang kailangan na gawing action just to release it? Pero aside from that, when it comes to the coral reef, when it comes to anything related sa situation nga noong proponents ng sand case around Pag-asa Island, yun yung mag-take time para makita nga kung ano yung situation. Kung ano ang next move, kung kailangan bang buhayin, kung ano yung kailangan gawin para nandito sa iba't ibang sand case sa paligid ng Pag-asa Island. Pero ang nalibot pa lang natin ngayon is Sandy Cay 1 and 2. Supposedly tomorrow, 3 and 4 pupuntahan namin. Kaso nga lang, ang binabantayan ngayon is yung taas ng alon, tsaka yung lakas ng alon. Kasi kanina, umaabot na rin ng, medyo mataas yung naging alon, umaabot na ng 2 meters. Kaya, pero swerte kami, nakatungtong na kami sa Sandy Cay 1 and 2. So hopefully tomorrow, Sandy Cay 3 and 4, makita natin kung nagbahan natin. And then, we'll report to ang situation ng akyo.
Pero Marimon, there's absolutely nothing there except buhangin, tama ba? No, not even any no flora, no fauna?
Sorry sir, medyo nag-change
Well,
na
yeah, yung Sandy Cay 1, 2, 3, and 4, lahat ba yan? Walang flora, walang fauna, ano lang, buhangin lang?
O ang Sandy Cay 1, napuntahan ko kanina, buhangin lang saka mga tuyo or patay ng corals doon. And a little bit of shells plus nga yung basura. Pero when it comes to flora and fauna, for Sandy Cay 1, walang presence of that. More on buhangin lang talaga saka corals na nasa pampang.
Alam mo,
Marimon, papunta dyan, may na-encounter ba kayo ng mga Chinese ships or vessels ng foreigners, halimbawa Vietnamese or mga kapitbahay natin in the region?
Yes. Actually, noong March 18 pa lang po, may mga bunyahe na nasa of media. Sumakay sila sa dalawang BFAR vessels, which is si BRP Datu Standard saka si BRP Datu Pagbuaya. And during the course of their travel hanggang makatungtong dito sa Pag-asa Island ng March 19, meron silang mga nakasalubong na Chinese Coast Guard vessels and militia vessels. So, doon pa lang medyo nakita na natin yung presence na nila. But then again, medyo naging ingat ang ating mga escorts mula nga sa PFAR saka sa ating Philippine Coast Guard just to maneuver around them para maging peaceful yung pagdating dito sa Pag-asa Island.
Mahusay sumagot si Marimon.
And up until now, from where I'm standing, medyo may nakikita pa tayong mga vessels, pero we'll report on the development anytime soon.
Okay.
Mahusay sumagot si Marimon. Umiwas dun sa tanong, pero
Sa tanong ni Ami.
may restrictions kasi. Please understand, there are also some security restrictions right now that we cannot reveal until we coordinate.
Because she's reporting live from on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not in Palawan or anywhere, no. This is actually in
Pag-asa Island yan.
Pag-asa Island. I guess ito yung book na Freedom to Broadcast. In a way, natuloy din.
Sayang sana
wala lang video. I wonder, Marimon, how are you able to report to us live from all the way there? I mean, are you using a satellite phone or
Umiload ka ngayon.
or abot dyan ng smart?
Actually, I'm trying to set up yung Starlink natin to have internet access or anything else. Kaso unfortunately, nasa bubong na ako, medyo nahihirap pa tayo makahanap ng signal. Pero fortunately, nag-pass through itong call natin online via cellular network. So yung part gumagana naman sa ngayon. Pero for internet access, medyo limited pa ang paggamit ng cellular.
So this cellular call is coming in through a satellite phone. Marimon.
No,
I'm actually using my mobile phone po. Kaya
Mobile
I was
phone yan.
surprised na pumasok
Talaga?
yung call.
Ang galing.
May smart doon.
Ayun.
May smart doon.
Malakas,
May smart pala doon. Tsaka rinig ko, Merrimon, may signal TV dyan sa,
Yes,
sa
may
Pag-asa
smart
Island. Balitaan mo na lang kami, lagay ng mga kasama natin, mga tropa natin sa Pag-asa, no, in your subsequent reports.
Yes, maglilibot na ako ngayon. Got it.
Okay. Ano po? May mga pabor ba? Okay, Merrimon,
Okay.
kung okay ka na, sige, mag-set up ka na ng internet dyan. Magpadala ka ng video.
Subukan
Thank you,
natin.
Merrimon.
Hanggang kailan ba si Merrimon doon?
Facebook ka dyan. Okay, kailan ka babalik? Merrimon, kailan ka babalik?
Nawala na.
O ikaw na yung bureau dyan?
Bye. Hello
Nawala.
po. Hello.
O ano, kailan ka babalik?
Meron pa kaming plan. Ang balik ko, most probably by the 26th nasa Manila na kasi baka magkaroon ng changes sa plans tomorrow. Kasi nga supposedly bukas may pupuntahan pa kami na
K3 and 4.
K3 and 4. Pero just in case lang na magkakaroon ng pagbabago sa taas o laki ng alon, baka magkaroon ng changes sa mga pupuntahan namin. So, I'll let you know as soon as possible kung ano na yung magiging progress ng lakad natin dito sa Pag-asa Island.
Okay.
Fred.
Okay, ano po?
Okay.
Ako na na.
Okay.
Okay, that was Merrimon Reyes, our mobile journal, reporting live there from
From Pag-asa
Pag-asa Island through her smart cellular phone. May signal. Maraming salamat, Merrimon. Ingat.
Baka load lang pala ang kailangan.
Thank you.
Alam mo, there was what I understood kasi was dati, yung Sandy Cay, parang pinagtatalunan niyan kung is it a low tide elevation o high tide elevation kasi nawawala daw siya paminsan-minsan. So there was a time na hindi siya ina-assert na rock siya, na wala siyang entitlement. Kaso, ito yung irony dun Kaso, because of the Chinese activity to the southwest, yung pag-reclaim nila nitong Subi Reef o yung Zamora Reef, ginawa nilang artificial island, nagdurog sila ng mga bato, nag-reclamation sila. So,
Tinambak nila?
ang sabi nila, since that happened, naging high tide elevation na to. So baka nag-drift yung ilang fragments, maraming fragments, kasi nag-reclamation sila dito papunta rito. So naging high tide elevation, nagkaroon ng entitlement. So yung Hague ruling ngayon is saying that this is now a rock. This is now a rock with 12 nautical miles.
And what are the implications if it's a rock?
Well, the implications is that you can draw 12 nautical miles around it, and that is that is owned, that sea is owned by whoever owns that rock.
Okay.
So, pasok ito.
Ginawa
pasok
din
dito.
ginawa din nila yan, Ed, sa Mischief Reef, ha?
Oo.
Sa Panganiban Reef.
Oo.
Di ba dati yun ang original din noon? Lulubog lilitaw din noon yun
Oo.
Tapos nagkaroon nga nagkaroon ng ilang 3 ba yun o 4 na huts. Nasabi nila
A fisherman's shelter.
fisherman shelters lang.
Okay.
Bigla-bigla nagkaroon na ng building, mamaya barracks na, mamaya may
Ngayon,
airstrip na doon. Yan, it's an
May mga bombers
artificial
na.
island already.
So, yun. Interesting developments over there. So,
Well, the whole place is overlapping.
yeah.
All the claims on that place is in that part of the...
But what's interesting here kasi, Bok, is Subi in itself is a reef. It is not a rock, so it does not have an entitlement. Pero, I mean, before the reclamations, unlike these two, itong T2 tsaka yung Sandy Cay, they now have entitlements. Whoever owns these gets 12 nautical miles. Ito, of course, this will always be contested kasi this is artificial. So, yun. Anyway, saan tayo ngayon? Headlines ng Star.
Sige.
Ami,
Ano?
headlines nyo?
Ano yan?
What should we expect on the front pages tomorrow?
Well, may mga late breaker kagabi, di ba, yung puro sa House, sa third and final reading as promised by the congressman. Pinasa nga yung RBH 7, saka yung SMNI, yung revocation ng franchise. Pero as expected din, sinabi ng Senado, they will not be rushed into accepting yung RBH 7 dahil meron din silang RBH 6. At hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin nakakalendar na usapan about charter change in the Senate before the Holy Week. Saka as expected din, sinabi ng mga senators, kailangan ng concurrence nila kung i-revoke by law yung franchise ng SMNI. So tama si General Counsel ni Apollo Kibuloy, si Ferdinand Topacio, abay mahabang usapin pa yung franchise ng SMNI. Kasi kapag natuloy daw yan, they will challenge the law before the Supreme Court. So malayo-layo pa yan. Ngayong araw sinabi ng COMELEC na kung ipapadala sa kanila ng House yung RBH 7, it will be subjected to a thorough study by the COMELEC. So isa pa rin yung mahaba-habang usapin. So parang medyo malabo yung timeline na gusto ng House on charter change, no?
And this timeline
Yeah.
is what, Amy? Because I understand that the Senate's timeline is to finish things by October. They're not in a rush. As long as it's 5 months before the targeted plebiscite, di ba?
Yeah.
Kaya daw nila. So
Yes.
what's the timetable of the House? Why is the House rushing this?
Yun nga ang tinatanong. Well, ang usap, kaya nga merong suspicion na baka daw may gustong ipasok na political because we know naman na ang term ng lahat ng congressmen is 3 years lang. Ang target ng plebiscite May 2025. Halos election na yun. Mawawala na yung tropang yan na nag-vote for that. And sa Senate, at least kalahati ng mga yun 6 years yung mga yun So yun ang kaya merong mga suspetsya na hindi lang economic ang gusto ng House. Of course, the congressman will deny it. Talagang economic provisions lang daw sila. So inaabangan pa natin ngayon.
Ami, isn't it safe to say that this point, judging from RBH 7, there's no mention there of any political provision. So that's it.
Wala.
That should be it, right?
Wala nga. Yan ang gusto nila, kaya sabi nila, sige, bigay na namin yung sa inyo, i-adopt nyo na lang. Which is not what the agreement is kung susundan natin yung announcement ni Speaker
Right,
Romualdez saka ni Mig Subiri na the Senate is supposed to take the lead sa charter change.
So could this be just...
Yung nasa Senate, yung RBH 6.
So,
Yun.
Ami,
Ang sinasabi naman ng mga congressmen pareho lang naman yung RBH 7 at RBH 6.
pareho lang. So could this be a case of one-upmanship between the Senate and the House? Parang pabilisan lang sila. They just want to show na mas mabilis kami. Kasi
Yan na nga
it
ang
would
ayaw
seem
naman
that
ng
based
Senate.
on
We will not be rushed.
RBH 7,
Yan ang
walang
sabi
pagkakaiba. Di ba?
Yeah. Except for the voting separately, which in many cases is already voted. Kasi nga they already voted.
Yun ang option na mukhang gusto ng mga congressmen to keep open. Na ayaw ng senador. Kaya walang nangyayari. Stalemate yan.
So this is just part of the usual, the long-drawn, long-running and still running
rivalry of the two chambers.
dragging parang kiskisan ng Senate at House. Mukhang di pa sila nakaka-move on.
Parang palakihan ng
Yes, yun na yun. Pataasan ng...
But anyway, later, Bok, in the second half, we will have somebody from the House leadership as one of our guests. So,
Yes.
balikan natin yung mamaya, yung RBH 7, tsaka yung SMNI. Okay? Ano, Bok? We need to take a quick breather. We will be back after a few short reminders.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group. I'm Patrick Paez with Ed Lingao and Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, Amy Pamintuan. Amy, so joining the STORYCON now is, okay, who do we have?
Si Congressman Johnny Pimentel will have you in a few minutes. They're just setting things up. Pero pag-uusapan natin ng mga other things. RBH number 7 na pinasa on third and final reading last night. At yung SMNI revocation ng franchise na nag-final reading nata last night. Pero both of these, kailangan ng Senate approval.
Senate approval.
He's on the line, I think.
Yan na nga.
Congressman Johnny Pimentel, sir, can you hear us?
Yes. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat.
Hi sir, magandang hapon po. Si Congressman nga pala ang Vice Chairman ng House Committee on Franchises. Tama sir?
Yes, yun po.
Yes sir. Sir, so pasado on third and final reading na kahapon yung SMNI revocation, pero we're not seeing we haven't seen any movement as far as the Senate is concerned, and I understand this will also need Senate approval. Have you been in touch with your colleagues there? And ano bang anong prognosis niyo mangyayari dito?
Yesterday, nagboto na kami. Ang result is 284 ang yes vote. For congressmen voted no, and then for nag-abstain. Ngayon, siyempre, hindi pa gumagalaw yung Senate because itatransmit pa namin sa Senate yun.
Okay.
No? Because it is a House bill, since any House bill needs the concurrence of the Senate. So, nag-recess na po tayo ngayong araw na to. So, matatransmit po yun ang resume natin sa April 29. Now, siyempre, as I said, bicameral legislature tayo, all bills that have been passed by Congress o House of Representatives, kailangan i-concur o aprubahan yun ng Senado. Well, of course, alam mo naman sa Senado, iba naman ang dynamics doon.
Yes, sir.
So, we'll just wait kung anong decision ng Senado regarding House Bill 9710 and Act revoking the franchise of Suara 2.
Okay, Congressman, so
nabanggit nyo na nga na iba yung dynamic sa Senate at nakita naman natin na mukhang maraming kaibigan si Apollo Kibuloy sa Senado. Anong plan B nyo kung sakasakaling hindi pumasa sa Senate yung revocation ng franchise?
Wala na ho tayong magagawa doon. If it will not pass the Senate, but any bill that has been not approved by the Senate during the preceding Congress can be refiled on the President. So, kung hindi man yan, hindi naman natin i-refile ulit. But for me, if it will be defeated sa Senado yan, it will be an exercise in futility na. Kasi ganun pa rin, kahit may pasa pa natin yan, pagkadadana po ng hearing, same pa rin. Kung hindi makakuha ng numero sa Senado, then wala yun. So, pag na-defeat yan sa Senado, they will be still operating. Pero sa pagka ngayon po, please be informed na nakasuspend pa rin sila. Kasi naalala ninyo, noong December 19, nag-issue ng suspension order ang NPC, National Verification Commission, no? Because of their some violations. Ngayon, supposedly, yung suspension nila dapat malift ng January 19 din. But since nahuli sila, in spite of the order noong December 19, they will still operating. No? So, na-extend yung suspension nila. They were given a show cause order to explain why nag-ooperate pa sila in spite of the suspension order. So ngayon, nakasuspend pa rin yung Suara 2. Kaya wala silang broadcasting ngayon. Well, that is a different matter, of course.
okay, Congressman Pimentel, ano pong naging pag-uusap o diskusyon dyan sa Kamara at nagdesisyon ng Kamara na bawiin itong prangkisa? Wasn't there a middle ground, Congressman, na penalty or reminder or warning?
Naalala ho ninyo, there was a resolution of the Makabayan Club, House Resolution number 230, complaining nga na itong Suara 2 or SMNI, actually, the franchise holder is Suara 2. Ang business name nila is SMNI. Based on the resolution na filed by Makabayan Club regarding the false discrimination dissemination of false information, especially in the red tagging, and then that privilege speech, si Congressman J.J. Suarez, ganun din regarding the fake news, because of the resolution and privilege speech, nagkandak po tayo ng hearing sa Committee on Legislative Franchise. Ngayon, nakagawa na po tayo ng 6 na hearing. We were able to conduct 6 hearings, and during the 6 hearings, SMNI was given due process. They were given enough time to present their side. Pero nakita naman ng komitiba, we were able to establish that Suarez was in violation of 4 sections of provision of their franchise Republic Act 11422. Yun na nga, Section 4, 10, 11, and 12. So that is why, nung pinagkakaanim na hearing, kompleto naman tayo ng ikang facts, kompleto na ang mga ebidensya. So the committee moved to approve House Bill number 9710 and act revoking nga yung franchise nila. Then doon sa deliberation, doon sa discussion, sa 6 hearings, nakikita mo po doon natin na clear ang violations nila sa provisions ng franchise.
Okay. Congressman, hindi po ba medyo drastic yung naging decision ng House of Representatives? Wala bang middle ground dito kung saan SMNI would have been allowed to keep its franchise and yet be held responsible for those violations that you mentioned?
Ay, wala ho tayong middle ground yan. It's either you violated the provisions or not. Wala naman tayong sasabihin na suspension. Wala naman tayong power para i-suspend sila. It is NTC who will be able to suspend that. It's either we let them operate in spite of the violations that we found out, or we revoke the franchise. Pero very clear ang mga violations. Kaya nga nagdesisyon ng komitiba na sila. Una, yung Section 10. Yung Section 10 regarding the sale, transfer of ownership of Suarez. Ngayon, doon po sa provision na yon, they must ask permission from Congress if they will transfer ownership. And once the transaction is consummated, they will have to report it to Congress within 60 days. Now, in 2020, doon sa general information sheet na binigay nila sa komitiba, sila nagbigay niya na, dokumento nila yan. Hindi sa komitiba yun. Nakalagay po doon, 95% of the shares were owned by Kingdom of Jesus Christ, 1.5% owned by Pastor Kibuloy. Pero in 2022 po, meron nung change of ownership. Yung Phoebus Capital Holdings. Ang nangyari, instead of 95% of Kingdom of Jesus Christ, naging 52% na lang, and then nailipat yung shares doon sa Phoebus Capital Holdings, naging 46% ang ownership nila. So very clear, kahit na anong gawin mo natin, there is an evidence that there was a change of ownership. 1, they did not ask permission from Congress. 2, they did not report it. So isa yung violation nila, and that is, I believe, is the strongest ground for the revocation. Yung pangalawa, yung Section 11, dispersal of ownership, wherein the franchise holder should, within the lifetime of their franchise, should diverse or sell their shares to the public 30%. Suarez po, nag-operate na for the past 29 years. Hanggang ngayon po, hindi nila sinusunod yung provision na yun. In fact po, pangalawang kankisa na nila yan. Dahil yung first franchise nila already expired in 2019 and they were renewed for 2019. Ngayon, yung sinasabi nilang wala pa naman timeline. Yes, pero you've been operating. Kung hindi namin sila nahuli, tsaka na lang sasabihin nila may plano silang ibenta. So yun ang nakikita natin, of course, yung Section 4, yung responsibility to the public, that the station should not use indecent, obscene language. So nakita natin yung ano ba yung programa nilang laban kasama ng bayan. ang dami nang ginagamit na indecent language doon. And of course, the dissemination of deliberately false information or willful misrepresentation. Isa po yun. Ang dami ng fake news na pinapalabas doon. Yung isa naman, to incite, encourage, in subversive or reasonable acts. Eh di ba, ginagamit nila na nga yun na to incite rebellion kasi sinasabi nila, maghiwalay na yung Mindanao, tapos calling all the people to support their movement. That is already inciting rebellion. Bakit mo hiwalay yung Mindanao?
Okay, so Congressman Pimentel, malinaw po, no? From your explanation, na hindi lang po to the revocation of franchise is not just based solely on the original complaint filed by the Makabayan Bloc. So there are other violations that your committee has found. So yun po yun. Yun po ang dahilan.
Ganito po yun. Congress can conduct an inquiry. If there are only 4 ways to conduct an inquiry. Una, a resolution is passed by a congressman. Pangalawa, because of privileged speech. Pangatlo, motu proprio action, wherein majority of the members will vote to conduct an inquiry in subject matter. Ang pang-apat po, if a concerned citizen has a complaint, he will write to the speaker under oath, and if it is reasonable, it is justified, then we will conduct a hearing. In this case, dalawang ground bakit po tayo nag-conduct ng hearing. And during the hearing, it was found out they have violated provisions of their franchise.
Congressman Pimentel, pwede po tayo maiba ng usapan?
Before you change
sorry.
topics, sir, pasingit lang po kasi I understand naman po. No, I mean nobody is questioning the right of Congress to repeal any franchise. It's in Section 15 of 11.342 I forget the 11.422. It's clear there that you can repeal. Yes, sir. It's clear that you can repeal, at least in the case of SMNI, yung franchise. I suppose the question is more of is the solution of Congress appropriate to the violation in terms of degree and in terms of the value? We do understand po na there are violations, but at the same time din po kasi the context is that the investigation started because of
a broadcast.
Things that members of the leadership of Congress found quite offensive, and perhaps rightly so. Pero yun, it does give a taste of a political flavor to the entire issue. Now, tama naman po, it is the right of Congress because it is in the law, Section 15, but at the same time, there is also possibly a political fallout in terms of the impact on
others.
How reporters and media will conduct themselves.
I don't think there is a political fallout in this, no? Sabi ko nga po, what triggered the inquiry is because there was a resolution of privilege speech that was done. Kung wala ko sana yung resolution na hindi namin naimbestigahan yan. Now, in the course of the investigation, yun nga na we discovered na meron palang violation. So, sa puto ng politika, nobody, wala namang iyan ang isang politiko na nagsabing, ito i-revoke ninyo to kasi ito identified kay ganito, kay Juan de la Cruz. There's no such thing. What we found out, sabi ko nga, is justified, of course. Si Atty. Mark Tolentino and Atty. Rolex Cruz Publico, they have also their interpretation of the law. No? Pero very clear sa dinig po namin, meron talagang violation. So depende na sa Senado yun. It's not within our hands ngayon.
Yes, sir.
Kung sa basketball pa to, nasa korte na po ng Senado yan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We understand,
Congressman,
sir.
follow up ko lang yung tanong ni Eda kasi sinasabi ng SMNI at saka yung camp nila former President Duterte, they are invoking freedom of expression, violate daw ang freedom of expression nila sa ginagawa ng House, sa SMNI. Ano naman po masasabi niyo doon?
Yung sinasabi nila freedom of expression, masyado namang naaabuso yun. Assuming yung sinasabi niyo yung freedom of speech, sige, pagpalagay na natin na that is debatable, that is questionable, paano yung change of ownership? Paano nila sasagutin yun? May ebidensya yun. Paano yung dispersion of ownership? Clear naman, may ebidensya din yun. Tanggalin na una natin yun, assuming for purposes of discussion, pagbigyan na natin sila na sinasabi nila yung freedom of speech. Tanggalin na natin yun. paano yung Section 10 and Section 11? Paano nila sasagutin yun? May ebidensya ho?
Congressman, itong issue na to, it has revived suggestions na tanggalin daw sa Congress yung pagbibigay ng mga franchise sa broadcasting media networks. Sa tingin nyo merong ano yan, will it ever gain traction in the House na mawala sa Kongreso yung power na yan?
Yes, I think NEDA already nag-propose sila. Pero we cannot do that because it's embedded in the Constitution. Nakalagay po doon sa Constitution.
Sir,
Nawala.
naputol. I'm not sure it's in the Constitution. Sir, naputol ata.
Nawala yata. Nawala siya.
Yeah, I'm afraid, I'm afraid
Nawala,
we lost
nawala.
Congressman Pimentel. So we're also going to talk about RBH number 7 sana.
Yeah, naka-cut off siya. Naka-cut off siya. Wala, ano?
Anyway, yeah.
Naka-off.
I suppose we can try to get him
Before he
again.
was cut off, Congressman Pimentel was arguing that it's provided for in the Constitution. The
I'm
power
not-
or
Yes.
right of Congress to grant franchises. Because as Amy has pointed out a while ago, this SMNI case has revived the idea, the proposal or proposals na tanggalin sa Congress yung power to grant franchise, broadcast franchise.
I'm not sure if it's in the I have to review it again though. I do recall kasi it was in one of the old laws, the older laws that predate the Constitution. Anyway, I'll have to look it up. Anyway, sige. We don't have that much time anymore. Baka if we can't get Congressman again, let's start to bring in, I think we have our reporter from Cebu. Okay.
Dale Israel.
Wala pa si Dale.
Sige. Dale.
Okay. We have some technical issues. Bubagsak yung mismo technical issue. so we'll have to
Pero
make do.
ang issue doon yung teacher, di ba? Pero tapos na yata yun. Pero yung isang teacher, yung nag-viral, baka interesado tayo. Meron ng desisyon ng ang DepEd doon sa teacher na pinakita natin yung video nung isang araw na nagrarant, nagve-vent nung napepeste. Meron ng
Pero hindi Cebu yan.
sinabi ang DepEd eh.
Oh, but that's not
Sabi lang
Cebu.
niya, hindi na parusahan yung teacher.
Hindi ba?
Sinabihan lang, chill, chill. Pagka masyadong mainitin ang ulo. No penalties.
Okay.
Yung pinakita natin na video, yung teacher na nagagalit
medyo
na
sobrang
wala
init ang
kayong
ulo niya doon,
kahihinatnan, yung ganon.
Medyo sobrang init ang ulo niyo doon.
Nakausap daw
Hindi lang madala sa chill
nakausap
yun.
daw ni VP Sara, yung teacher, pinakinggan yung circumstances kung bakit nagalit, and they decided, DepEd decided, na wala nang penalty.
Ami,
Sinabihan
sorry.
na lang na yan na kunta lang.
Sorry, Congressman Pimentel is back online. We can bring him back.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, sorry to put
Okay.
sir. You were
Sagutin
saying.
ko lang po yung unang tanong na there is a proposal na
Yes.
tanggalin yung power sa Kongreso. Pero that
Opo.
will be a problem because under the Constitution, the Congress has the power to grant, revoke, or amend a franchise. So in this case, hindi ko pa natin basta-basta natanggalin ng power. Because if you will do that, you will have to amend the Constitution. Paano po matatanggal yung power ng Congress to grant or revoke a franchise? Nasa Constitution yun. First, we have to amend the Constitution. Kung yun ang gusto ng ibang tao o ibang ahensya, i-amend po na natin yung Constitution. Ngayon pala nahihirapan na tayo eh.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, I'm sorry.
May iba na tayo. Pwede na tayo may iba na usapan.
Sige.
Okay.
Go.
Congressman Pimentel, yung tungkol naman dito sa
RBH 7.
solution, RBH 7. Okay. Tapos na. Tapos na
Yes,
po ang House of Representatives. Nagawa na nila yung kailangan nila gawin.
288 voted yes for
Okay.
RPH number 7. Ngayon, there are two thoughts on that, no? One is some are saying, well, of course, kailangan talaga i-transmit yan sa Kongreso. So there is one na idiretso daw sa COMELEC, but that will pose a legal problem. Pag dinireto mo sa COMELEC yung RB87, I'm very sure that it can be challenged sa Supreme Court. So the right way to do it is transmit talaga yan sa Senado.
Paano to, Congressman? Ulit, paano ulit to? How is this again?
There are some proposal. Ang right procedure ho niyan, since it has been approved by Congress already, it will have to be transmitted to Senate
Right.
for them to deliberate it and concur with it. But however, there are some, mga advisors and experts na idiretso na daw sa COMELEC yung RB87. However, pag idiretso po natin sa COMELEC yung RB87, it will now be open to challenge in Supreme Court.
Okay. Congressman Pimentel, wouldn't it have been easier kung hinintay na lang ng Kongreso ang Senado na matapos? And given that, based on the timeline of the Senate, they have until their deadline is until October to finish RBH6. Bakit hindi
Yun
na lang
nga,
hinintay?
Kaya nga pinasa na namin RB87 so that medyo bumilis ng konti. Because actually, ang timetable nga namin by March, and then we were able to do it on schedule. Nung by March 20, kapon, nabutuhan na nga namin. That was the original timetable of Congress. So, nag-decision ng leadership na ituloy na lang natin to, then transmit it to Senate, and bahala na sila kung anong decision nila doon.
Okay, so the
Congressman, ang
decision
sabi
is...
ng mga senador, they will not be rushed
Until now,
into charter
isipin ho
change.
ninyo, yes, pag-isipin ho ninyo, yung RB6 hanggang ngayon hindi pa nga sila tapos. In fact, una pa
Yan
sila
na nga.
mag-deliberate doon. Hindi pa sila tapos sa RB6. Ngayon nga tapos na kami RB7, so we're just trying to push it to Senate to work on it. So, pag na-transmit nyo noong April 29, now it's up to the Senate then kung ano gagawin nila sa RB7.
Okay.
Congressman, nabanggit nung isang araw nabanggit ni Congresswoman Garin na kung ganyan kabagal ang Senate, mas maganda pa daw na mag-People's Initiative na lang. Buhay pa ba yon? Is that idea still alive in Congress? Saka yung
It's still
sentimento
alive.
ba ni
For
Janet
me, it's
Garin
still
is
alive. Actually,
general sentiment ba yan?
Yes, kasi yung People's Initiative, kung naalala ninyo, it was only suspended by COMELEC. Hindi naman sinabi ng COMELEC na terminated na yan or they will not accept it. If it's a suspension, meaning the suspension could always be lifted. For
Okay.
me, the People's Initiative is still alive.
Okay.
Alam nyo, tama yung tanong ninyo. For me, mas mabuti kung tinutuloy na lang yung People's Initiative. Siguro, by July, nakaplebisito na ho tayo.
Okay.
Kung tinuloy ho yung People's Initiative.
Okay, Congressman Johnny Pimentel, Vice Chairman of the House Committee on Legislative Franchises. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
po. Maraming salamat
Congressman.
po sa inyo lahat.
Okay, thank you for joining the StoryCon. I'm Amy Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Sea. Medyo nagulat ako doon sa sinabi ng prompter. Ana Marie. Yan. Amy Pamintuan, thank you.
Thank you, Patrick and
Okay po. Happy weekend. Join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the StoryCon. I'm Ed Lingao.
I'm Patrick Paez. We are One News, all sides, all the time. This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.